everyone, welcome back to Adventures with Edna. I'm Chris, that's Steve. Chance is coming over later. Today is Halloween, and what we're about to do is fix some more of the accident damage from, our flat tire incident. If you remember from the previous video, our center link between the tie rods is now shaped like a smiley face, and it's supposed to be perfectly straight, so we have ordered a new one from Speedway, and we're going to get that cut to length because they come in sizes. And so we're going to get that cut to the proper length. We're going to get that swapped out, get that installed, try to get our front end as straight as we can get it, and hopefully be a little safer. So let's get started. So first we got to get these disconnected. We're going to take our little cotter key out, take our castle nut off, and then we use our pickle fork to pull that off. Cotter keys are awesome until you want to take one out. Three-quarters. All right, let's go to the other side. Trusty pickle fork. All right, you can see this thing took a serious beating. It is not even close to thinking about being straight anymore. Then, on top of that, we found out everything got jarred loose. Same thing on the other side. Now we can't be having that. So let's get our new one. I love opening a box from Speedway. It's just like Christmas morning. There's two horns on it, but one fell off. That one definitely looks a little straighter. Except that it keeps wanting to roll away. So straight versus not straight. We definitely had a problem going on there. All right, so we got to cut our new bar to 38.5, I believe, which is what Speedway says it needs to be, which is kind of cool that they already do the math for you. So we got to take a whole inch out of this bar because it's 39.5. So we'll take half an inch out of each side because one side is one thread and the other side is another thread, and then we have to make a relief cut. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark off half an inch, and we're going to mark it with tape. I saw this in a video on a fabricator channel where they took tape to mark their line on a tube so that they could cut it nice and evenly all the way around, because we don't have a fancy cutting setup to make sure that this cut is straight. So we're basically putting tape around it so that we know our cut is as straight as we can make it. So we'll put another half here. And what I'm doing here is I'm actually putting the half-inch mark at the end of the rod to make sure that we're not changing our distance from the end of this. So we're going from a solid point to a solid point. I don't know if that's the best way to explain that, but that's how I'm explaining it. And then we got our cutting wheel here. So we're going to cut those two ends off, and then we got to make a relief cut so that when we transfer these over to the new one, that it will clamp down. So let's make that happen. All right, so we got our ends cut right up to that tape edge. And they're nice. You can kind of see that since I'm spinning it, that it seems to be somewhat straight. So I feel pretty good about it. How do you feel about it? Leave your answer in the comments below. But now we got to cut relief cuts because we want the clamps to clamp down on the tie rods when they're in there. So if you look at these, there is, I'm fighting against the sun here. There is a little relief cut right there. And the same thing on the other side to make sure that the clamp does clamp things. So we got to do that on ours. All right, we got our cuts in there. So now we just have to transfer our tie rods over, but we got to count on these threads on both sides to kind of get it roughly where it was at before. So we're going to count these threads like this. Counted. Now we know how far they need to go in. And as you can see, that's how loose that is. So we don't even have to take our clamps off to unscrew these. Makes you feel real good about it. Everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. All right, so you can see here the way we painted that. See, the paint stops where the bar was. So we just do the same when we put it back in. See if this one was loose enough to remove by hand. Yep. Oh, this one goes the other way. Remember, one's reverse thread. So this one's going counterclockwise to come out. So you can kind of see, if you look closely right here, that I did not cut these very straight when I first lowered Edna. Because I didn't know about this trick the first time. But I do know about it now. So it's definitely going to be, well, it's still going to be close. That might throw us off a little bit on our measurement. So these are the drop tie rods, since Edna's lowered, because they're straight from the factory. But once you lower it, the straightness goes right through your springs. So you got to be able to go below the springs. Or maybe it was over. Over? Under. Something like that. All right, now we got to pull our clamps so we can transfer them to the new bar. I think the whole thing's turning on that one. Getting crazy with the impact here. This is definitely overkill. Let's go down to the road for a flat surface and we'll do a roll test. This will be like, you know, when you're rolling push rods to see if they're straight. This will go just like that. All right, baby, roll. I don't think it wants to do rolling stuff. Here's another good comparison. laying flat in the bed. It's picture worthy. All right, let's get our tie rod screwed into our new end. I'm gonna put our clamps on first. All right, which thread is which thread? Well, let's do a clamp. I'm gonna open this clamp up a little bit. It's too tight. There we go, right there. Get our other one. Make sure it's facing the same. Oh, I got our tape on there still. Make sure it's facing the same way for uniformity. And it makes it easier when it goes to get an alignment, which will be done at Mathis Tire when the new tires come in by none other than Tim Cantrell, who owns Helda Parks. People helping people. Man, this one doesn't even act like it wants to go on. That's way too tight. We got our clamp right over our relief cut, so that way it does clamp things when it pulls down. Now let's get some tie rods. Did I get the right one? I think. I don't think I got the right side. Oh wait, no, this goes the other way. There you go. It's funny when you try to put the right one in the right hole. Anywho. My hand's getting tired. All right, where's our red? All right, we're right on our red. So we're close. Allegedly. Yeah, they definitely start quite well when you got the right one going into the right hole. I gotta take a break. My hand's tired.
A few moments later.
This line looks somewhat straight in comparison, so it should be easy to go right up against this one. A little boot fell off. Right up to there. Now they look somewhat straightish. All right, reinstall is basically the opposite of what we already did. That's definitely something you don't want coming loose on you. Now we just got to figure out where the hole is for the cotter pin. Yeah, no, it doesn't really count if you do it off camera. I was getting a little bit frustrated. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and tighten our clamps because we don't have flat ground here or matching tire sizes. So we're going to take a test drive and see how well it is for now, but I'm going to have to call a lifeline on getting this straighter. So maybe we'll call Daniel at Petty's Garage and see what he's doing and see if he feels like helping us get this straight so we can have this on nice flat ground and try to get it as straight as we can get it till our tires get here. There you go. Little test drive, make sure she seems good. Safe. Safe is good. Should shut the door. So far, so good. Steering wheel feels straight, somewhat straight. Steering seems easy. See what happens when we come up on a turn or a decent curve. Or a bump. Bumps seem fine. Steering feels fine. It's not, it's not a great road, but it doesn't seem to be fighting me. It feels normal. Steering didn't really come back around the center on me. Kind of had had to manually turn it, but it wasn't hard to turn, so that's good. Feels better than it did yesterday. We can go a little faster down this road. It seems it's not fighting me. It's not pulling in either direction. It definitely feels better than it did before. Like this steering wheel was kind of tight before. Kind of made your arms a little tired. So this is a definite improvement. I think we're going to call that good. Now, we are still going to have to get this aligned professionally, but we are waiting on our tires. There was a little bit of a delay. They sent out an email letting everybody know, so I still don't have the new tires yet. We're going to have it professionally aligned then. But in the meantime, we're probably going to go. I'll have to get a friend to help me. It's kind of hard to align this on your own. I did get a good idea from a friend of mine that I think I'm going to try. But I need a nice level ground area, is what I'm saying. Because it's gravel. The truck really leans whenever I have it up in the air too, so I don't really have a good workspace. I'm doing what I can with what I got. So anyway, we're going to call that a video. Do not forget, adventures are out there everywhere. You just got to look for them. Got Edna back a little safer than she was yesterday, which is always a good feeling. If you like this video, definitely hit that like button. That really helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share it with your friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, and happy Halloween.